What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about why I think that living apart together is a superior way to have a relationship than cohabitation. Relationships are really complicated, and living together adds a whole new level of complexity to a relationship, and it can cause a lot more friction than necessary. In my opinion, when you live apart, it's the ideal phase in a relationship because in the early stages, you're not living together yet. You're just dating, getting to know each other. That's the best stage because it's like you have that freedom to come and go. There's no mystery when you live together, and you get time to miss each other. That's the important ingredient that's missing when you cohabitate. So for me, I just think, well, why change that? Why not keep that alive when you don't have to live together? Because I think in society we're fed this message that it's the ultimate goal to live together, get married, and have kids and all that. I mean, everyone's different, right? That's fine, but I suppose this is more coming from the context of an introverted person like myself who needs a lot of alone time. Every time I've lived with somebody, it's always been a shit experience, and that even goes for housemates that aren't a romantic partner. I think I read somewhere that living together is scientifically proven to reduce your sex life. It's you have it less often, especially after marriage. I'm not the tidiest person. I can be a messy person, and one of the biggest causes of conflict for me can be purely the division of labor. I'll put my hands up and say that I'm probably on the lazier side, and somebody who's a clean freak is not compatible with me because I'm just kind of laid back like that. I don't require a house to be like a showroom in order to be livable. I kind of have a bit of a habit where I might let things get a bit messy for a few days because I'm just busy. I've got a lot on my mind. I just can't be dealing with it then and there. And this is why I think living on my own is just better, because I'm not going to cause any friction. I can do it at my own pace. I'm not going to get shamed for it, and I just think if you're living with somebody, you've constantly got that pressure to perform. You've got that pressure to be on point and on top of things all the time, and it can be stressful. Also, just being a huge introvert, I will always have some level of underlying anxiety if somebody is there all the time. You could be in separate rooms, but unless you're truly on your own, you're not going to have like 100% solitude, and I kind of need that in order to mentally recuperate. So, I just feel like the way I am is not conducive to the traditional lifestyle, that sort of white picket fence lifestyle that we're all sort of indoctrinated into going after. I just think it doesn't work for some people, and it kind of makes me a bit sad because I think, well, I'm not really built that way, so I'm probably not going to be able to find somebody that will want the same thing. Because let's face it, most people want to have that white picket fence lifestyle, the family and all that. And if you're an outlier like me, you're a bit of an oddball and you prefer to do things a different way, you've got to have a lot of courage to go against the grain of societal expectations. It takes balls because you know that you're doing something adverse that is not the norm, and you're going to be looked at differently, and you're probably not going to be accepted very much by people. God forbid if I ever did give it a chance with somebody ever again, we would have to have a big understanding that I need my private little room, my little man cave to go off and do my thing, and she needs to be able to do the same if that's what she wants. I've been wanting to buy a house this year, and it's been a dream for quite a while now, and I'm really looking forward to doing it how I want it to be. The whole house will be my sanctuary, my private sanctuary that I can come home to every night in peace and quiet. It'll look how I want it to look. The whole house is the man cave. Nobody's going to dictate how I live in there. Nobody can dictate what it's going to look like. Nobody can bring things into it that I don't want. And that's another thing I don't like about living with somebody, is kind of your identity is more dissolved because you have to merge with somebody else's. So your identity becomes sort of watered down in a way, and I don't like that. I like to have a strong sense of self. When you have a more individualistic lifestyle, I think you're not at risk of losing yourself in a relationship. If you don't live together, it's much easier to leave a bad relationship. and you're less likely to stay in it out of obligation or financial ties. So there are benefits to it, but I obviously know there's benefits to living with people financially as well. So I mean, my bad experiences have really put me off, and I just like really don't want to do it again. But yeah, I would have to be with a very introverted woman for it to work. I just can't see it happening. I just everyone else is going down the mainstream path, and I'm the only one I know that is kind of like just going down the path less traveled. And it's scary and it's a bit alienating, and I do worry sometimes about what that means for me and my future. But you know what? You got to be true to yourself, man.